Welcome everyone to a new career webinar episode. I'm Mirta Aguirre, Head of Employability and Coaching at Virtual Internships. And today we have our Career Readiness Essential Series, which means we share very interesting, useful insights with regarding how you can advance your career forward. These are skills that are useful for any career field, any industry, no matter what you do. This is always going to be very interesting for you. And what topic precisely are we going to explore today? So today we're going to learn how to set SMART goals. And for that, we have Blessy Alex, our beloved speaker, who will share everything about it. First of all, let's meet who Blessy is. Blessy is an employability and career development coach dedicated to assisting and mentoring university students, as well as working professionals in enhancing their careers and skills effectively. She's an expert in soft skills and global English training, along with career discovery and career transition. She's a certified coach with an educational background in education and English literature. And in particular, today, welcome Blessy. And what Blessy will tell us is how to set SMART goals. We're going to see what they are, how to prioritize our tasks, and therefore how to plan for success. So without further ado, thank you very much, Blessy, for being here with us today.
Thank you so much, Mirta, for your warm introduction. It's always been a pleasure, getting back to our webinar sessions and sharing these insights with our fellow participants, and welcome you all, each and every one of you, for taking out your time to be a part of the session. And I'm quite sure there's something productive and substantial each and every one of you would be carrying along with yourself by the end of this webinar that we're going to have. It's a very common topic, but it's really good to reflect, analyze, and keep working on it effectively, because I believe this is something important for each and every one of us. In our personal as well as in our professional life. So thank you, Mirta, once again for your warm welcome, and welcome each and every one of you for this webinar session. So yes, so as you all know quite well, today's topic is setting your SMART goals, right? So definitely we have to be smart enough in setting our goals. So yes, before we get started, let's just start with a small activity. Like, okay, any goals for the internship or after you finished, or anything that you have in your mind, you can put it in the chat. It would be a treat to our eyes so that we can read and know more about it.
And this is very important, right?
Exactly.
To understand, first of all, do we have any goals? That's the very good question. Usually we have, but oftentimes maybe we don't conceptualize them as such. And this is what we're going to explore today, how to understand, right? Okay, we have someone sharing in the chat, finishing university and finding a graduate job. Yes, that's a goal to aspire, definitely. If you're at university, I'm sure you want to finish. So that's a goal. Someone else? I see someone is saying, I want to improve my public speaking skills during my internship time.
Perfect.
Nice one. Someone is saying, I like to improve my time management skills during my internship. Someone is saying, after I finish my internship, I want to move to Dubai. That's also a goal, right? Definitely.
Absolutely.
I want to get an internship abroad in software development in the United Arab Emirates. I want to land a remote job. Excellent. So we have goals. There we have.
Exactly. Perfect. So, all those who have written down your goals in the chat and all those who have goals in your mind and still haven't written. So I would want you guys to keep in mind your goals that you have right now. When we'll be reflecting on how to set your goals smartly and prioritize, you can reflect on it. You can create your action plan with me throughout this journey in the next 1 hour. So we'll be doing that. So yes, Ahmed has raised a hand.
Yes, if Ahmed, I don't know if you can use the microphone or you want to share in the chat. If you have any question, you can use also the chat.
Okay, let's continue. If you have a
Yes.
question, you can just put it in the chat. We'll get back to you. So why setting goals? Because setting goals is like, okay, you want to be a business analyst before the end of 2025. Okay, that's wonderful. So setting goals is really important. But why is it important? That is also an important question to reflect on. First and foremost, like you all have, some goals in your mind, probably short-term goals, maybe long-term goals, but why setting them? And how important is this goal setting in our life, in our professional, in our personal life? Firstly, it gives us a focus and clarity as a professional because it, gives you a direction. This is okay, this is something that I'm doing, and this is something that I'm going to get out of it. So you have a focus, you have a clarity for the next steps and the steps that you're taking in. That's one of the most important thing for setting goals. Second, as you can see, it's skill development. When you are able to set your goals, when you start working towards it, you get to identify, you get to see that what kind of skills or what kind of areas you are developing, you've developed, or you would like to enhance and improve during the process of your internship program, and how much more you need to keep working throughout the whole process and even after that. So, skill development is an important part. Now, when we move on to the next step, that is talking about the professional development. As most, someone had just written like they would like to improve their time management. Then another participant written like, okay, working on your public speaking skill. So these are some skills that you would like to improve throughout your internship. And then working on your job, getting a fair paid job, getting settled in this particular country. So all these things are there in your mind. So when you talk about your professional development, how are these setting goals at the formative stage of your career going to help you in developing in your professional setup in your career in the later stage? Like, for example, you know what steps are you taking in right now. And when you have a clarity of your steps and the skills you've developed, it will reflect on the professional steps that you're taking in. For example, it helps you to develop new skills which you haven't honed, helps you to build in your confidence, gaining some kind of experience in the industry, and more future opportunities and prospects. Then when you talk about, okay, a clarity for goals, skill development, helping in your professional development, a lot of these things, but we need to analyze and reflect on, is this, how much have I gained? How much have I improved? We need to have an assessment for that. So you have to measure and evaluate your skills. So you need to create an action plan and probably a framework to check in your progress and your improvement during the whole process. So specifically, or citing an example from the coaching calls that we have, and since I'm working as a coach with the Virtual Internships team, during the midpoint coaching call, there's one important question I always ask my intern: how has your journey been so far? How do you feel about it? So they're like, okay, it's been going quite well. So I tell them, okay, so today after our call, this question is there even for my final call. So I tell them, okay, so today after your call, just take out 10 minutes of your time and reflect on how has your past few weeks, how much have you gained, how much have you learned, how much have you known yourself, and how you want to make sure the forthcoming weeks turns out to be super productive for you. That's an important, point to reflect on. And that helps you to understand, okay, what kind of projects am I working? How much is it helping me? How much have I gained throughout the whole process? And seeing your progress against the goals that you had set when you started your internships helps you understand, are my goals smart enough? Are my goals realistic? Am I coming closer to my, end goals, or probably my long-term goals in my future career plan? So measurement and evaluation is very important. Then talking about networking and mentorship opportunities. So now when you have a clarity of your goals, when you have an understanding, this is where you would like to see yourself, as one of you would like to be a business analyst by 2025. Okay, one of you want to shift to Dubai. So you know that, okay, to be a business analyst, what kind of networking or mentorship opportunity I need to avail. So you need to expand your professional connection. You need to look for mentors. You need to identify the industry leaders. You need to identify the career specific groups that you can join, that you can be a part of, so that you're aware of the latest trends in the market, getting insight, probably your host company supervisor, even asking them about the communities and groups that they are a part of, probably even asking them about their career trajectory. So when you have a clarity of your goals, you're trying to make the most out of that opportunities and networks you have around yourself, and trying to upskill in that networking and mentorship opportunities as well. Someone setting up a goal to shift to Dubai, knowing about the culture, working style, industry in Dubai, joining those groups, probably like, okay, on Facebook, joining a particular group for expats in Dubai, or maybe joining a group on LinkedIn, okay, knowing about the culture, the prerequisite knowledge before getting that cultural shock, being yourself, being prepared from your end, knowing about certifications that you need to take before you land a job in Dubai, how to be well prepared, you have enough time. So this is important. Why setting goals, for networking and mentorship, how it can help you. And definitely for enhanced resume, absolutely. So there's one thing that I always say, the actions that you take while you're a student at the university, the efforts that you put in during your internship is something that would be reflected on your resume in the next steps of your career path when you start looking for a job. What you do, the achievements you've made, the projects that that you put in your efforts in, and how proactively you are focused on your goals and the actions you take and the opportunities that you enhance would definitely uplift your profile as a professional. And when a recruiter is definitely going to look into your profile when you apply for a role, they will have a complete picture of how has your career trajectory been throughout, from an undergrad to a master's to an intern, and everything. Every single thing is put in the right order. And apart from that, even while you're applying for an internship, I mean, probably you're taking an internship or you've just completed your internship or maybe looking for a job, you give them an impression that this is what my goals are. And this is what I am also expecting from this particular organization that I'd like to work. Because it's a two-way process. You fulfill the goals and expectation of organization, but you have to ask a question, are they helping me to fulfill my goals and expectation too? So enhanced resume is also an important aspect in setting goals. So focus on clarity, skill development, professional development, and all the other steps that we've reflected on. Now, okay, we've talked about goals and goals, and okay, that's very important. But it's very important for us to see that setting smart goals. Really working hard in life is really important. But in today's time, smart working is also super important. So for smart working, we ought to have smart goals, right? Having goals in our mind, we are humans, right? We have so many things going on in our mind, but at times super confused, super busy, having no clarity of, are my goals realistic? Am I having a time frame? What is the purpose of this specific goal? Is this relevant enough in my long-term career path? A lot of things are there, right? Because we all have access to every single information right in front of us, but we need to have a framework that helps us to be focused and setting our goals smartly. Now, when we talk about what smart goals exactly are, I'm quite sure most of you know about it. I mean, we all read about it, right? I mean, it is specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. Now, when you talk about your goals, you have to be specific about your goals. Now, when you talk about your internship, reflect on your internship experiences. Reflect on the goals that you guys have written here in the chat. Like why, what exactly is the reason for setting up this particular goal? I mean, think about it. I mean, what you want to accomplish while you are working on this particular goal. And when you reflect on these goals, always reflect based on the WH questions. Who, what, when, where, which, why. When you ask these questions, okay, who needs to be involved in this goal? Okay, definitely you have to be. You have to be business analyst. You have to move to Dubai. Okay, you have to work on your time management. You have to work on your communication skills. I mean, like, who has to be involved? What exactly are you trying to accomplish? Why you want to, what exactly you want to gain from there? What is the end result to it? Then you will get more specific about that, okay, the time section of defining the SMART goals. By when you need to achieve this goal. Okay, one if you put in that I want to be a business analyst by 2025. By 2025, you have that time frame. Maybe by the end of 2025, maybe by the mid of 2025, or just at the beginning of 2025. Okay, one of you want to move to Dubai with a high paying job. Okay, by when do you want to move to Dubai? Then which? Are there any challenges or any obstacles in your way in achieving those goals? What are those? Trying to identify them and set realistically. And what is the reason of that particular goal? Why do you want to achieve it? What's the purpose behind that? So reflect on all these points: who, what, when, where, which, and why. So you have to be very specific when you're setting your goals, because setting your goals, at the end of the day, you have to accomplish and you have to fulfill it. Then we talk about measurable. Now, when you've set in your goals, you specify this is something that I want to achieve, you have to measure. Like what, platforms or what metrics are you following to meet your goal? Now, if you want to work on your public speaking skill, or if you are talking about your time management skill, okay, what platforms or what solutions or tools are you using to make sure that you are able to work on your goals on a regular basis and you're improving in one way or the other? So when you speak about your public speaking skills, what specifically in public speaking you would like to improve, and how are you going to measure? During your internship, how are you going to make sure, along with your specific professional skills that you gain, these soft skills, how are you going to make the most out of that? Are you going to give in some ideas to your supervisor? Are you going to be a part of the team meeting and you're going to present an idea or a topic, something like that? The fear of being judged by others, practicing before you're speaking, measuring. I mean, these are all, different solutions to check whether you're able to determine or meet your goal on time. And maybe by the mid of your internship, just probably asking them, okay, how do you feel about, how do I present myself? Do I need to, work on my time management? Do I need to work on this specific area? Am I talking to the point? Am I well prepared? A lot of things are there, right? So you have to measure. Achievable, making sure that your goals are achievable and realistic. Now, you want to be a business analyst by 2025, and you know that, okay, there are some certifications I need to finish to be a business analyst, even at an entry level position. And you're like, okay, by the end of this year, I have to complete this particular certification that I found on LinkedIn or from my university. And I have another 2 months time. If I just enroll myself now, it will take me 2 months time to finish that certification. And you're like, no, but I'll make sure I'll finish it in a month's time. Come on, that certification has been designed in such a way that you need to have those 2 months time to get it done. So you have to be realistic. If you set a goal for like, by tomorrow I have to get these things done, even if you're physically, you're not, you can't do it, mentally you can't do it, you have a lot of other tasks, you're not able to achieve your goals. And when you're able, when you are in that kind of a situation, you really start questioning your ability and capability, and you are demotivated. And then you derail from your goal, you keep procrastinating, you find everything hardly makes any sense. Even if I try hard, it's not helping me. So you have to make sure that your goals have to be achievable and realistic. Okay, that's important. And apart from that, what more skills I need to gain? Okay, I have to complete a specific certification. I have an internship. I have my classes. So I need to make sure that I manage my time effectively. I have to be prioritizing. So time management skill is really important for me. I need to hone my creative thinking, critical thinking, so that the task that I'm getting in my internship, the certifications I'm taking, the course that I'm working on helps me to focus on my project well. So I'm honing new skills along with that. When we talk about relevance, like what is this relevance all about? I mean, is this going to help you on a longer term? So if you've taken a particular certification, or if you talk about, managing your time effectively right now, setting up this goal of, time management, public speaking, communication, being a business analyst and, be over there. Like whatever actions are you taking, how is this going to help you on a broader perspective? So if you learn to manage your time effectively today, and you instill that habit within yourself, it becomes a part of your lifestyle, which definitely would help you as a professional on a longer term. If you work on your public speaking skill, why exactly you want to work on your public speaking skill? How important it is for you on your long-term career basis? Is this going to have an impact on the position and the role that you're looking for yourself on a long-term basis? You want to shift to Dubai. Why do you want to shift to Dubai? What is the purpose? Why Dubai? Why not UK? Why not Australia? Why not New Zealand? What more opportunities are there? What really invoked your interest to move to Dubai? Those who are sitting as international students in the UK, why are you doing your master's from the UK? Why from that particular university? So how is that going to have an impact maybe after 5 years? So relevance, you have to have a relevant understanding of the goals that you're setting in, and time bound. As we know, you need to fix a time, because, our goals have to be realistic, and we can't just throw the arrow, in the air that, okay, I'll achieve this goal by the end of next year. So if you have to be a business analyst by 2025, you have to make sure that you start taking actions from today. For example, if you're a student at a university first year, undergrad student, or probably first year master student, you know where you would like to see yourself in the near future. So from your first year at the university, you need to break down your goals, and you need to start working on them into different time slots. Okay, by next year, I need to grab an internship. Okay, then after that, graduate scheme rules. Everything is there. I have to get a graduate job as soon as I graduate. I'm done with my studies. So from first year itself, I need to make sure that what actions am I taking in. So you need to manage that effectively, set a time frame for that. In this semester, I'm going to participate in networking events. By next semester, I'm going to take some certification. Then after that, another semester, I'll be looking for internship. So creating an action plan is really important. And that's why we say that, setting our SMART goals is super important for us, to make sure that we see that our actions, the goals that we set in, are implemented effectively in its right order. So making sure that our goals are specific, they are measurable, they're really achievable, they're relevant, and they're time bound. Okay, so you can all reflect on the goals that you've set in your mind and divide that today after this webinar, maybe today, maybe by tomorrow, whenever you guys are free. Set your goals in that manner. And if you are, doing your internship right now, just make sure, maybe you may be left with 1 week or 2 weeks. Before the end date of your internship, how much have you gained from this internship? What are your key takeaways? Did you meet any one of your goals? If not, what actions are you going to take in? Let's have a look into these, examples. Okay. One of the goals is I'll improve my productivity using a Pomodoro timer. When studying and closing all other tabs on my computer, I'll do this every day, every time I study for 2 months. Next is obtaining confidence to give a public speech by practicing speaking from notecards in front of a mirror and friends for the next 3 weeks. Okay, so we can take any one of these. Okay, so we'll take the goal 2, right? So the specific goal is that you'll be focusing on developing your speaking confidence for an upcoming speech in your class. So probably a participant who shared with me that they'd like to improve their public speaking skills. Okay, so what is something that drives your force? Okay, why specifically you want to work on your public speaking? So in this particular thing, the student is preparing for a speech competition in the class. An upcoming speech is there. They've been given the responsibility. So they have to develop confidence for an upcoming speech in the class. That is a specific goal. So what are the actions that they're taking? Like the measurement of success is the speech will be clear and without stumbling in front of my class in 3 weeks' time. So you have the 3 weeks' time. And what is achievable? Believing anyone can do this, as it's just a psychological challenge and not a cognitive. Believing in yourself and believing in your capability. Removing the fear of being judged or making a mistake, right? Then it's realistic. The confidence to speak in class is necessary because I need to give the speech to pass my course. It is relevant, very important. So, okay, and towards the end, what we have, that is the time bound. The time bound is the speech that I need to give will be in 3 weeks' time. So you have that time frame. So when you have that time frame to achieve your specific goals, you understand that you are motivated, you have to finish it in time, and you have that urge to work on it continuously and regularly. And working on time management, I think someone had shared that they like to work on their time management skills. So using a Pomodoro timer every time you study, so that would track, you'd be focused. Keeping a diary measuring my progress. How much have I, worked on it? Distractions that came my way. How much have I achieved within this, particular Pomodoro? With working 40 minutes, taking a break, did I get distracted? Measure your progress. I mean, you can do that in the app. Then studying regularly, and this is an add-on to an existing study program to improve your productivity. Okay, so you already have that study time, you already have an internship, but along with that, you're honing one more habit, honing one more skill to work on your time more effectively. Okay, time management and being more productive. Better study productivity helps you move faster and getting better grades. Absolutely. You will see change within yourself. Honing new skills, you'll be more productive. You have time for more productive things as well, managing your time effectively, planning and executing more effectively, which definitely would have an impact on your lifestyle as a profession in later years. It will impact on the work that you produce. And the goal is to persist with this habit for 2 months. Now, we say that, to form a habit for a man, it takes 21 days. Psychology says that. But if you form this habit, like, for 2 months, if you work on it, it becomes a part of your lifestyle. Then you don't have to rigorously sit and follow all these things. It will be a part of your system. And what is the impact? I mean, what is the result you get out of that? You're carrying so much along with yourself with that short frame of your time. So that's a smart way of setting your goals. Now, apart from that, you feel, okay, I'm going to, manage my time. I'm going to study on time. I'm going to practice speaking. Every day you just sit, okay, yeah, I'll do from tomorrow. Okay, you sit for 5 hours. You get bored. You get distracted. It's not helping you out. You're trying your best, but it's not helping you. You smartly just set it down in these different formats: specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. You will definitely see results. And when you start seeing results, okay, set goals for 2 days. Okay, these are my tasks for 2 days. And you see them, see yourself finishing them. You feel motivated. You feel accomplished. A pat on your shoulder. And that's a great feeling. Okay. Okay, let's move forward. Yes, I think this is something really important, right? Super important at this time for each and every one of you. Building my professional network. So being an intern, being a student at the university, looking for a full-time role, shifting to another country, graduate suite programs, building professional network is super important for you. And we know that, the traditional method of looking for jobs, or traditional method of, applying for opportunities is there. But these are, professionally networking is also very important. Getting out of your comfort zone also at times, right? So to build my professional network, how am I going to do? Okay, I'm going to expand my network within next 3 months. So for example, you guys start your internship this month up until December, January. In these next 2 to 3 months, this is like one of my goals. I would be expanding and building my professional network. I think I'm, lagging in that. So that is my specific goal, measurable. At least 20 new professional professional platforms and different workshops or webinars or online communities, etc., networking communities. Achievable. Dedicated time each week to engage in virtual networking activities, connecting with potential, speakers and potential connections, industry leaders, etc., and participating in discussions. And yes, you guys are doing something today. You all are attending the virtual, webinar today. So I'm looking forward to connect with you guys by the end of this webinar as well. So that's very important. So, okay, Wednesday is a time I'm setting in like 1 hour of my time specifically for my networking thing, and I'm going to identify my industry leaders. I'm going to, connect with them, drop in a message to them, look for communities or groups that I can be a part of, look for events and workshops that I can participate. Through those events, I get to see the speaker, I can follow them. So specific amount of time, you set a specific goal. Focus on connecting with professionals who are in roles or industries aligned with my career goals and areas of interest. So if you want to be a business analyst by 2025, so you should keep an eye on business analysts who've been in the industry, like at an entry-level position, who just started their career, so that you get a better insight that how they started their career, how they got this particular opportunity. What were the hiccups that came their way? Then you connect with a professional who's been at a leadership position. What are the key factors these guys are looking for to hire a business analyst? What changes or what latest trends are taking place in the industry? Graduate screening programs. Okay. Any workshops, any webinars conducted on how to prepare yourself. Time bound. Setting a time frame to achieve this. Within next 3 months? Okay. Really important, really motivating, urgent enough, and you are accountable for that. So that's important for you. So it has to be specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. So this is just one example, like building my professional network. So you guys can reflect on the goals that you've set in along with your long-term goals, like how smartly have you set in and how smartly you would like to set in the near future. And this can align to your personal goals as well. As we move forward, let's see. Okay, this is something nice. Okay, so okay, I did talk about, like, we had our midpoint coaching call where we reflected how much have you achieved from this internship, reflecting on the process, right? So this defines that. I mean, specifically when we talk for goals for later, during the final coaching call, I asked, okay, what are your key takeaways? What is something that you've known about yourself? When you started your internship, you never knew you could achieve this or you could gain this. And how is this going to have an impact? So goals for now is identifying your focus. Like, what is the purpose of this internship? I mean, growth and development, enhancing some particular skills, working on some particular kind of projects. So if you want to be a business analyst by 2025, you want to move to Dubai, or you want to work on your time management, how is this internship helping you? Or what specific actions are you taking? And even for that factor, if you talk about, okay, communication skills, like what kind of communication? Verbal, non-verbal, professional communication, proactive communication, like what exactly? The projects that you're working in, the projects that you've got for your internship, how important are they for you? Does that align with your long-term goals and plans? Something more that you would like to explore, reflecting on them, setting smart goals for them, discussing with your supervisors, getting the most out of that. Breaking down the goals into actionable steps. Start taking actions, really important. We've set our goals, we've made the plan, but we have to execute. Super important. So if you want to be a business analyst, if you want to be an IT, software tester, you need to start taking actions. What exactly you've been doing from your internship, or what particular actions are you taking in right now? Are you connecting with the career services team at your university, asking them for any webinars that are conducted, workshops that are conducted? Are you getting your resume tested? Are you working on your LinkedIn? Are you looking for industry requirements and everything? A lot of things are there. And goals for later, like self-assessment and reflection, which is like super important, helping you to identify, what are your strengths, what are your areas of interest, your values, your passion, your skills. And these long-term, and what actions are you taking and how that align with your long-term career goals and skills you require specifically at this time to reach those goals. And these, self-reflection definitely, helps you to have, a clear insight, a clear direction to pursue the next steps. Research and exploration. Research, definitely, the industry that you're interested in. Specifically, like, you get into LinkedIn specifically, you look for the job description, you look for the latest trends in the market, the qualifications required, what exactly you are lagging behind, and what actions you really need to take in to make sure that the projects and everything that you're working in is helping you to achieve those specific skills and experience in the industry. And what more you can gain even after your internship, any specific certifications that would be highly valuable for the chosen field that you have. You're planning to move to Dubai. Okay, so to move to Dubai, okay, what are the key requirements over there? Okay, you have, your class, you pursued a degree, you did your internship from another part of the world. So how is the lifestyle in the Middle Eastern region? You did your studies from European countries, how different it is from there. What are the key requirements? What kind of an organization you would like to, join? What is something that aligns with your vision, with your values? It's important. So research and explore. Setting meaningful and actionable goals. So based on your self-assessment and research, you set, these goals for your career path. I mean, they can be your short-term, they can be your mid-term, and they can be your long-term goals. Your immediate next steps, like what are your plans? By the end of this year, in next 2 months, like what are you planning? Your short-term, like what are your long-term? And subdivide them. This is how, it makes it easier. So for 2 months, you have 8 weeks time. So 8 weeks, you divide into 50 into 50, like 4 weeks. And then you start taking those actionable steps. It makes it easier. So these actions that you're taking in and these, plans that you're executing helps you to provide, a complete roadmap, a complete direction for your career development. And then later you feel that, okay, those actions and smart goals that I set in at that time has really played an important role in my career at this moment. I tried to make the most out of it then and there at that time, and which I believe is really important. Okay, as we move further, yes, super important. First things first, planning and prioritization. We all are so busy, right? I mean, we've had interns who were like, at times we do feel bad about them. Like, okay, they have a part-time role, some have full-time jobs, their classes at the university, they have their internships, working with organization like from different part of the world, managing time, managing their personal life. I mean, so much is there, so much is going on in your head, right? Planning and prioritization is very important, because if you get the crux to it, like, are you able to plan effectively? Once you plan it out, are you prioritizing, like, which is important out of that? I think you're sailing smooth. We all have 24 hours, and it's up to us how we make the most out of it. Now, what is prioritization? I mean, this is a strategy, as you can see, that helps you to decide what order you have to complete your task. We all know, like, what task we have, how my next week is going to be, everything. So you need to set in, a complete guideline, like, okay, what is important, what is not, what is urgent, what is not urgent, I mean, accordingly. Then planning, execution. There has to be a time management strategy that gives you a structure to follow to get your prioritized task completed on time. And when you're able to do that, you're not overwhelmed, you're not procrastinating, and you're making the most out of it. And you don't lose an opportunity as well. That's also there. If I could have done it at that time, at that particular right time, I could have got this opportunity. But at that time, I did not make the most out of it. I did not do that particular thing at that time. I did not work on that particular project. I didn't take it out that seriously, and I'm having a repercussion for that at this moment. So Eisenhower matrix, as you can see it very clearly, it's not very complicated, very simple. Okay, so on the left-hand side, we have important and not important, and right-hand side towards the top, you can see urgent and not urgent. So you have tasks that is urgent and important, very important and very urgent. Get it done then and there. It's important and not urgent, but it's important. So you have to do it. So you can schedule a time for that. Okay. You can get it done later, but it's important. Then we have urgent, but it's not important. Okay. We can probably delegate it to someone, or probably we can plan it out in such a way that it can be, you can give it to someone else who can do it for you. Hardly makes any sense. Then you have not urgent, not important. Just throw it in the trash. Just delete it, eliminate it. It's just going to suck in your time and your energy. So important and urgent. If we talk about this particularly, you have to do it now. If you don't get it done, it's definitely going to have a negative impact, a negative consequence, and it's definitely going to affect you badly. So you have a class on Monday at 11 a.m. at the university. You have to attend no matter what. It will affect your grades. So you have to do it. Then, not urgent. It isn't having a deadline, but it is important. Okay, you can schedule a time to get it done. So for example, I can say that, okay, you have, a basketball practice or something at your university, and that's definitely important for you guys. But you guys feel that, okay, no, we have a class that's super important. We can't do it at Monday at 11 a.m. But we can set, a time like Friday at 11 a.m. We can push it there. So you scheduled a time. That is also important because we have a tournament after 2 months. But this attending this class is super important, urgent and important. So you plan it out in that way. So urgent but not important. You delegate. Now, what happens? At times we all feel that we are the master of everything. We can do it all. We are superpower. We know we can do it all. But at times, it's good. It's really nice to delegate it to someone. You don't require your specific skill, right? So for example, I'm talking about the basketball, thing. Okay. So there's a quick meeting by 11:30 and you have your class at Monday at 11 a.m. So you can tell the other teammates, see guys, even if I'm not there, you guys can plan it out. I mean, whatever my part is there, you can just let me know later on. Okay. I mean, okay, this is what you want, right? Okay, this is the research I did from my end. These are the points that you can reflect on. I'll just give it to you. The other guy, he would present that. You really need not be there. You don't have to be present there in getting that task done. So you can delegate it. You can avoid that. Then delete and eliminate. You really don't have to do it. I mean, even if you do it, even if you don't, it hardly is going to have any impact. And majorly, this happens with distractions, okay? Right now, you have something important. You have your internship. You have your weekly checkpoint that you will submit by Friday. That's really important for you, right? And that's definitely going to have an impact because when you submit your weekly checkpoint and feedback, you can reflect on the feedback you get from your supervisor. But at the same time, your favorite show is coming up. Is that important? Or is completing your, task important? So delete it. These entertainment can come later on. These are like, hiccups that's coming your way from achieving your goals. So the Eisenhower matrix is really important for us to understand. There's one thing that I tell my interns who struggle with, managing their internship and their classes and everything. I tell them, okay, Sunday evening, you're going to sit down and you're going to write down all the tasks for Monday to Friday. Even your personal stuff, your bills that you have to pay, your laundry, grocery shopping, whatever it is, put it down. And then say, what is urgent and important? What is not urgent, but it's important? What is important, not important, but you can delegate it to someone, but it's important? And what is something that you can delete? You get a list of that. Now you have a clarity. You have enough time. Just follow that. It helps you saving your time. And I tell them, you can thank me later if we meet for the final call. And that definitely has helped them. So prioritizing and setting your goals are definitely the key to productivity. And I'm telling you guys, you would be supercharged, super excited after this webinar, and you would be sitting and setting your goals. And I'm quite sure there are going to be times when you feel, least interested. Just write down your goals. Put it right in front of yourself and just remind yourself, how is this going to help me? May not be today, may not be tomorrow, but definitely going to help me on a long term. It saves you a lot of time and makes your life easier because we all speak from our experiences. I did my part, but you have to take the action. I can be there to connect with you guys, discuss many methods and stuff, but at the end of the day, you are the master of every choice that you're making. You have to implement it. Yes. Any
Amazing.
questions?
Let's see. I think the Eisenhower, there are many things that you shared that are really interesting, right? I think the one key takeaway for me, and I would love to hear the takeaways from the audience. If you can share on the chat. If you don't have any question, then maybe you can share one key takeaway you are taking with you after this webinar. For me, one super interesting tool you shared is the Eisenhower matrix. I think that puts it in a very clear way that shows us how we can quickly make decisions about how to what to start doing first, right? Because smart setting goals is super important, but then if I have 10 goals all at the same time and they're all equally important, then it's very hard for me to take action, right? I need to understand, okay, now that I've set my goals, which one I am going to tackle first. And I think the Eisenhower is really interesting.
Yes, of course.
So, okay, someone is sharing a very interesting takeaway. Is saying, I had never considered how a goal needed to be relevant for my bigger career plan for me to take action. I think this is really good to understand that sometimes we also may have many things we want to do, and we may not know, is this thing I want to do like relevant? Does it relate to whatever I want to achieve on a bigger scale, right? Or how is this goal allowing me to move forward with my bigger plan? It can be career, it can be personal. I think that making it understanding the relevance of whatever I want to achieve is good, not only for my motivation, right? But also to understanding how it fits into a bigger scale. So anyone has any questions or any takes away you want to share? Meanwhile, I
Okay.
am sharing.
Yeah, there is a question. Online
Yes.
tool that you can recommend to us. Okay, it's already given over here by our colleague. Like, yeah, there are a good amount of, apps on Eisenhower. I have also gone through them. There's one like I haven't ever used it, but I know there is asanas. I mean, that's also one thing, one app. You guys can, have a look into it. Asanas, Asanas. I'm not quite sure how it works, but it's an online tool, and I've seen a very good review on that. I mean, you don't have to go through many of them. Just stick to any one. You can follow the Eisenhower that's already shared in the chat. Go with the basic one, and yes, start putting it into action.
Amazing. Someone is sharing. My biggest takeaway is learning how to prioritize. Exactly. I think that's if we already can leave the webinar with this clear idea on how to organize our tasks, I think that's already a super big win. So we have Blessy's LinkedIn profile. Remember, creating a strong network is essential. And part of doing that is using LinkedIn powerfully. So whenever you want to reach and connect to someone else, make sure to send a personalized message so they know where you know them from, right? In this case, you can send a message to Blessy saying, hi, Blessy, I participated at the webinar you gave on setting SMART goals. I love to be part of your professional network. So you send this message to Blessy, and Blessy knows where you know them from. So, and also, do you know why this is interesting? Because we may add many people to our network. First of all, if people don't know us, chances are they're not going to accept us in their network. And second, because many times we make connections with someone and we don't necessarily engage actively, but for any reason in the future, we remember that this person was a connection to someone we wanted to get to know. And if we had sent a message already introducing us, then this person knows already a little bit of context, right? And you also know them where you know them from. So that's also really nice because you know, okay, where do I know this person from? If you accept someone who didn't send you a message, then you may be doubting. But then when you also do this as a good practice, then it's easy to remember, right? Okay, so thank you very much, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this webinar as much as I did. I'm taking away many very useful key concepts that I will be applying to my everyday time management and goal setting. And thank you very much, Blessy, for sharing your knowledge with us today.
Pleasure is all mine, and thank you so much, Mirtha, and each and every one of you for being such a wonderful, participants and being so engaging enough with your chats. I mean, it's such a pleasure to read. And I would love to connect with each and every one of you. So keep in touch if you need any help and support anytime, I'm just a message away, right? What better way to connect with each other? So wishing you all best, and set your goals smartly, and keep rising and keep shining.
Excellent. Thank you. Bye, everyone. Have a wonderful day.
Bye.